Today, I'm going to talk about something scary. No, not a ghoul or a zombie or the amount of sodium on a can of Spam. This is even deadlier than that. A parasite that feeds off your psyche, wretched with greed as it gobbles up all of your free time. I'm talking about procrastination. Procrastination is such a complex word for such a complex feeling. I think the first way to define procrastination is by what it isn't. Procrastination is not laziness. While the two may be similar, they aren't the same thing. Laziness can be defined as a personality trait, a state of being. If you're lazy, you have a strong unwillingness to do anything at all. For example, me heating up a Hot Pocket in the microwave and waiting 30 minutes for me to fish it out all soggy and hot pockety is lazy. Procrastination, on the other hand, can be described as a painfully, pathologically, pantopragmatic pandemic personifying people's pure penchant. Poor Polding Ping's poor pater. In layman's terms, procrastination is the conscious or unconscious decision to not do something by distracting yourself in as many ways as possible. Basically, it's biding your time until the inevitable happens. That's not to say procrastination is a completely evil entity. You are probably procrastinating on your homework or other responsibilities or priorities by watching this video, and I must say, I'm a bit flattered. Besides, if we're only concerned about getting to the end 100% of the time, let's just say I could remove myself from this mortal coil right now pretty easily. So, what's the deal with procrastination? Look, I got nothing against procrastination and its family. Procrastination was a person. You'll get the guy at the party who talks way too much, double dips chips in the salsa, and follows you around like an emotionally clingy tailgater. Eventually, they waste your night, they won't leave your sight, and you can't even enjoy the salsa because they tainted it with their nasty mouth. Procrastination is a constant within the human experience. It says it right in the box here. See? But follow me. Okay, now that we're in a secure location, let me key you in on a few tips to procrastination. First things first, never overestimate yourself. While this may be applicable to a lot of things in life, procrastination feeds on your ability to say, I can hold it off until later. Nothing made this more apparent to me than when I was in high school. Besides the social politics of who was more Gucci in figuring out the theoretical carrying capacity of my backpack, a passion I pursued in high school was seeing how fast I could finish my essays the night before they were due. You know, it's a great feeling typing at Mach 5 speeds at 11:03 p.m., haphazardly trying to get through your second body paragraph as your fingers start tripping over each other, misspelling words, and creating nonsensical filler sentences as you're scrambling to finish that stupid paper so you can turn it into turnitin.com by the stroke of midnight. Procrastination has this really weird cycle where the more you procrastinate on something, the more you want to procrastinate on it as the work builds up. It's like cleaning your room. A single sock misplaced on the floor? No big deal. Mounds of clothes, books, papers, and scattered McDonald's receipts all around the floor. I don't really want to clean up after that. Let it consume me. Another thing that procrastination excels at is distractions. And by goodness, there are many distractions out there. YouTube binges that always lead me to Family Guy clips for some reason. Mini trips to the fridge at 11 p.m. that always lead to me getting a mini meal or making some nachos or something. Hanging out with a friend instead of finishing a project, even though I knew damn well that I would feel anxious about it. And oh my goodness, this has happened so many times. Limiting your distractions is a key part to avoiding procrastination, and depending on what you're doing, this can be really hard. Just focus on the objective and make it your priority. Which brings me to my final talking point. Don't let procrastination take away your motivation. Oh hey, that rhymed. Motivation is a tricky and almost mythical being that can come from many places. It's like an ice cream truck. It comes when you least expect it. The beloved memories of hearing that jingle as I remember convincing my mom to give me some money as I dashed out the door towards that truck and got myself one of those weird SpongeBob popsicle abominations. This is why good exists in the world. But sometimes you would hear that beloved jingle and frantically run after this truck, as it ignored your advances and all you were left with was sadness and no ice cream. Truly heartbreaking. Being motivated is similar. It can be random and almost unfair at times, leaving you when you truly needed it most. And sometimes when you do eventually get it, it goes away just as fast. At least with an ice cream truck, they stay until you make your purchase. Motivation can just choose to bail at any time. Procrastination is the motivation killer. Procrastination will try its hardest to sap your motivation. It's like a vacuum of energy. Whether we like it or not, the promise of later always sounds better than the promise of now. In terms of work, at least. And honestly, that's how procrastination entraps you into its vicious cycle, by thinking you solely need motivation to beat it. The duality of man, I suppose. Think of motivation as a power-up. It can be helpful, yeah, but it's fleeting, and if you aren't careful, it could become a crutch. Well, I wish I could have a full supply of motivation every day by watching the speech from Independence Day every single morning. That's not physically possible. Okay, maybe it is. Nothing is fun 100% of the time. Except Super Mario Galaxy, which is a video for another day. Setting up a tent is not fun. Studying for finals is not fun. Dealing with an emotional text with a lot of baggage is not fun. But by fending off the demon of procrastination with the sword of self-responsibility and accountability, you can defeat your evil demons. Hiya! Hiya! Whoa! You know, sometimes I wonder if I should make more suitable videos. Okay, now before we leave this alleyway, I want you to do one thing. Come closer. 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 Stop making excuses. Excuses are procrastination's lifeblood, its heart and soul. They're so easy to make, but they're so hard to get away from. Make that video. Finish that book. Slam dunk that essay into turnitin.com at a reasonable time frame. Don't be on your deathbed, whining like a little baby that you never got to go to Legoland because it got flooded by the great ice cap melting of 2039. Look, we all got an expiration date. Mine is right here, for example, see? Yeah, it's a bit overdue. All I'm saying is that we have a finite amount of time on this beloved, beautiful, bouncy ball, buoyantly through space. And you want to waste that precious time fantasizing about the life you could be living? You know what? I believe in you. My dog believes in you. But most importantly, I want you to believe in yourself. You know, this is kind of a new format I'm sort of trying, so if you like what you saw, please tell me how it went. Could use some feedback. You know, I hope you all have a happy Halloween, and thank you for watching.